Good afternoon. This is All India Radio and I am Abhishek Mukhopadhyay with the Midday News. The headlines. North India under the grip of severe cold wave, rail and air services affected. RBI says country's financial system remains stable despite slowing economic growth. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to share his thoughts in Mann Ki Baat program on All India Radio tomorrow. UN General Assembly approves resolution on initiating drafting of new treaty to combat cybercrime. And in boxing, world champion Mary Kom beats Nikhat Zareen in the women's trials final for Olympic Qualifiers. Several parts of North India continue to reel under severe cold wave conditions, with Delhi recording the season's lowest temperature this morning. Head of Regional Weather Forecasting Centre of IMD Delhi, Dr. Kuldeep Srivastav told AIR that similar weather conditions are likely to continue tomorrow.
Today, 2.4 degree centigrade temperature recorded at Safdarjung. Zero visibility has been reported at Palam Airport. We are expecting cold wave and dense fog tomorrow and day after tomorrow morning, and cold day to severe cold day condition today, tomorrow and day after tomorrow. We are expecting over Delhi NCR.
Jammu and Kashmir is also in the grip of intense cold. More from a correspondent.
As minimum temperature has dipped to -5.6 in Srinagar, water bodies and states have frozen, resulting in water scarcity. The power supply has also become more erratic with the biting cold. Frequent disruption in traffic on Srinagar-Jammu National Highway is also adding to the winter woes of the people in Kashmir Valley. Mushtaq Ahmed Tantre, AIR News, Srinagar.
According to Weather Office, cold day to severe cold day conditions along with dense fog are likely to prevail over Punjab, Haryana, Chandigarh and Delhi and Uttar Pradesh during the next few days. In Rajasthan, normal life has been disrupted due to the biting cold. Our correspondent has the details.
Churu and Sikar recorded temperature below freezing point. Road and rail traffic has been affected at many places due to dense fog. According to Met Department, the people of the state are yet to get relief from the severe cold. The department also forecast dense fog in Churu, Srinagar, Hanumangarh, Bikaner and Nagaur. Jitendra Dwivedi, AIR News, Jaipur.
Similar conditions are expected to prevail over North, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand, Sub-Himalayan, West Bengal and Sikkim and Odisha during the next 2 days. In Sikkim, the Indian Army has rescued more than 1,500 tourists who were stranded in Nathula due to heavy snowfall. The tourists travelling in about 300 vehicles from Gangtok were stranded on the Jawaharlal Nehru Road last evening. An official release said over 500 travellers were accommodated at the Army camp at 17th Mile. Meanwhile, Army earth movers and bulldozers are also working to clear the snow and restore connectivity. In its 20th Financial Stability Report, Reserve Bank of India has said the country's financial system remains stable despite slowing economic growth. It says the global economy confronted a number of uncertainties that led to significant deceleration in growth. Aggregate demand also slackened in the second quarter of this year, further extending the deceleration. Here is more from a Mumbai correspondent.
20th Financial Stability Report says that the resilience of the banking sector has improved following recapitalization of public sector banks by the government. The risk arising out of global or domestic economic uncertainties and geopolitical development, however, persists. The report reflects the collective assessment of the subcommittee of the Financial Stability and Development Council on risk to financial stability as also the resilience of the financial system. The report also discussed issues relating to development and regulation of the financial sector. Madhuri Pange, AIR News, Mumbai.
Mumbai Police's Economic Offences Wing on Friday submitted a 32,000-page charge sheet against 5 persons in the Punjab and Maharashtra Cooperative PMC Bank scam in a Metropolitan Magistrate Court yesterday. The charge sheet has named former Managing Director of the bank Joy Thomas, former Chairman Wadiyam Singh and former Director of the bank Surjit Singh Arora. Housing Development and Infrastructure Limited HDIL promoters Rakesh Wadavan and Sarang Wadavan are also named. The accused have been charged under various sections of the Indian Penal Code, including cheating, fraud, destruction of evidence and falsification of documents. All 5 accused were arrested soon after the multi-crore scam came to light in September this year. They are presently in judicial custody. The Delhi unit of the BJP accused the Arvind Kejriwal-led Aam Aadmi Party government of misguiding people in the capital in the last 5 years. It also charged the AAP government with failure to fulfill promises made before the 2015 Assembly elections. Senior BJP leader and Union Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan, along with several party leaders, released a charge sheet in Delhi today. It accused the opposition party of fanning fire to the recent violent protest against the Citizenship Amendment Act. Union Human Resource Development Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank has urged those opposing Citizenship Amendment Act not to make educational institutions the hub of politics. He said this law is a need of the hour and important for a country. The minister was in Bhopal to attend the Atal Smriti lecture. Speaking at a function in the city, Agriculture Minister Narendra Tomar said that the act will give justice to oppressed minorities from Pakistan, Afghanistan and Bangladesh. He said Congress-led parties and some so-called intellectuals are working to spread violence by opposing it. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will share his thoughts with the people in his Mann Ki Baat program on All India Radio tomorrow at 11 a.m. It will be the 60th episode of the monthly radio program. It will be broadcast on the entire network of AIR and Doordarshan and also on AIR News website www.newsonair.com and News on AIR mobile app. It will also be streamed live on the YouTube channels of AIR, DD News, PMO and Information and Broadcasting Ministry. AIR will broadcast the program in regional languages immediately after the Hindi broadcast. The regional language versions will also be repeated at 8 in the evening. Our correspondent reports the Prime Minister has been raising various important issues through the program. In his Mann Ki Baat address in February 2015, he had exhorted students to remain stress-free during exams.
परीक्षा बोझ नहीं होनी चाहिए और न ही परीक्षा कोई आपके जीवन की कसौटी कर रही है। स्वयं के विकास के लिए प्रतिस्पर्धा उतनी प्रेरणा नहीं देती है जितनी कि खुद के साथ हर दिन स्पर्धा करते रहना। क्या हम साल में 2 बार हर टर्म में एक वीक का परीक्षा उत्सव नहीं मना सकते हैं जिसमें परीक्षा पर व्यंग्य काव्यों का कवि सम्मेलन हो, कार्टून स्पर्धा हो, निबंध स्पर्धा हो, डिबेट हो। ये परीक्षा का हाव अपने आप खत्म हो जाएगा।
This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates, visit the News on AIR app and follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. You can also visit our website www.newsonair.com. The UN General Assembly approved a resolution yesterday that will start the process of drafting a new treaty to combat cybercrime. The Russian drafted resolution establishes an expert committee representing all world regions. It will elaborate a comprehensive international convention on countering use of information and communications technologies for criminal purposes. The Assembly also approved a resolution strongly condemning human rights abuses against Myanmar's Rohingya Muslims and other minorities. It calls on Myanmar government to take urgent measures to combat incitement of hatred against minorities in Rakhine, Kachin and Shan states. Myanmar's UN ambassador said the resolution did not attempt to find a solution to the complex situation there. General Assembly resolutions are not legally binding but do reflect world opinion. Moving on now to a special segment year ended 2019. It was a year full of remarkable events for the Defence Ministry. In a landmark decision to bring reforms in higher defence management in the country, government has approved to create the post of Chief of Defence Staff, CDS. The CDS will be in the rank of a 4-star general. He will also head the Department of Military Affairs to be created within the ministry and function as a secretary. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also dedicated the National War Memorial to the nation at a solemn ceremony near India Gate in February. A report.
In an intelligence-led operation in the early hours of 26th of February, India struck the biggest training camp of Jaish-e-Mohammed JEM at Balakot in Pakistan. In this operation, a very large number of JEM terrorists, trainers, senior commanders and group of jihadis were eliminated. This facility at Balakot was headed by Maulana Yusuf Azhar, the brother-in-law of JEM chief Masood Azhar. This was in response to 14th of February site terror attack conducted by Pakistan-based terrorist organization Jaish-e-Mohammed that led to the martyrdom of 40 brave jawans of the Central Reserve Police Force. It was a red-letter day in the history of Indian Air Force when Defence Minister Rajnath Singh participated in the Rafale fighter aircraft handing over ceremony in France in October. The minister handed over medium-range surface-to-air missile to Indian Air Force at the Bharat Dynamics Limited premises in Hyderabad on 3rd of August on the occasion of Golden Jubilee celebrations of the Defence PSU. The Defence Minister commissioned Indian Coast Guard ship Varha in Chennai on 25th of September to further strengthen coastal security. As a part of its contribution of strengthening bonds of friendship with neighbouring countries, Border Road Organisation developed road infrastructure in some friendly countries in the neighbourhood. With V. Mohan Rao, Swati Rakheja, AIR News, Delhi.
The 5-day Mandu festival has started from today in Mandu, Madhya Pradesh. The picturesque, world-famous tourist destination is located in Dhar district of the state. Tourism Minister Surendra Singh Baghel will formally inaugurate the festival this afternoon. Several other ministers will also grace the ceremony.
The Mandu festival, which will run till January 1st, will see the amalgamation of cultural activities as well as the adventure sports. The rich classical and traditional folk arts of dance, singing and playing will once again come alive through the Mandu festival. Based on the idea of Khoj De Mein Kho Jao, the Mandu festival is offering an eclectic mix of performing arts, natural trails, food, architecture and music to the visitors. Visitors can also explore the trail on cycling tours, walking tours or jump into the Hope In Hope Out buses to dive deep into the rich history of the city. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
MOS in the PMO and Minister for Northeastern Region Dr. Jitendra Singh has said that a workshop cum exhibition on bamboo, a wonder grass, opportunity for sustainable development and jobs will be held in Jammu in January. The Northeastern Council will organize it in collaboration with J&K Union Territory Administration. It will aim to replicate the successful model being adopted in the Northeast to market its products. Former Director General of Doordarshan, Shiv Sharma, passed away in Gurugram this morning. He was 85. Mr. Sharma was associated with the coverage of the Asian Games in 1982. He also supervised coverage of various national and international events. He has also served in All India Radio earlier. Veteran political cartoonist Vikas Sabnis passed away last night in Mumbai due to cardiac arrest. He was 69. Inspired by Bal Thackeray and R.K. Lakshman, he started his career in 1968. For over 50 years, Sabnis worked as a staff cartoonist at various newspapers, including the Times of India and the Midday. 2 persons lost their lives in a fire at a garment unit in Sakinaka in Mumbai. Their bodies have been recovered from the godown, which was gutted in the fire that broke out last evening. Search is also on for others who have been reported missing in the fire. In Somalia, more than 20 people were killed and many others injured when a car bomb detonated at a security checkpoint in capital city Mogadishu. There is no immediate claim of responsibility for the blast. However, the Al-Qaeda-linked Al-Shabaab group often carries out such attacks. In Fiji, nearly 2,000 people took refuge in emergency shelters after being swept away in floodwaters as tropical cyclone Sarai pounded the country today. With wind gusts strengthening to 150 km per hour during the day, Sarai destroyed houses and crops, brought down trees, cut power and caused considerable flooding in low-lying areas. In boxing, 6-time world champion MC Mary Kom defeated Nikhat Zareen in a split verdict trial bout to make the Indian team for next year's Olympic Qualifiers in China. In a bout which had very few clear punches, Mary Kom prevailed 9-1 to make the squad in the 51 kg category. In other results, 2-time world silver medalist Sonia Lathar was upstaged by Sakshi Chaudhary in the 57 kg category. In the 60 kg class, former world champion L. Sarita Devi lost to national champion Simranjit Kaur. Former cricketer and BJP MP Gautam Gambhir has said that Pakistani cricketer Danish Kaneria's remarks showed the real face of the neighbouring country. Kaneria had remarked that he was mistreated by a few teammates for being a Hindu. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. North India under the grip of severe cold wave, rail and air services affected. RBI says country's financial system remains stable despite slowing economic growth. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to share his thoughts in Mann Ki Baat program on All India Radio tomorrow. UN General Assembly approves resolution on initiating drafting of new treaty to combat cybercrime. And in boxing, world champion Mary Kom beats Nikhat Zareen in the women's trials final for Olympic Qualifiers. And for details of these stories and more, visit News on AIR app and log on to our website www.newsonair.com. And with that, we end the Midday News.